Hello my crochet friends, this is Sarah from Ned and Mimi, and in this video we are going to crochet this gorgeous wave stitch pattern. Now I absolutely love this stitch pattern, it's so much easier than it looks, and even if you are a complete beginner, as long as you can work your basic crochet stitches, then this will be a piece of cake. So I have used this pattern to make this lovely striped washcloth, and there is a free written pattern for that on my website nedandmimi.com, and I have linked to it below. In the written pattern I have also included instructions on how you can use this stitch pattern for a project of any size. So if you want to make a blanket or anything else, then you'll definitely be able to do that. Now, before I get started, I do want to tell you that this particular washcloth is part of a set of 3 coordinating patterns that you can also find linked below. Each pattern is completely unique, but together I think they do make a gorgeous matching set. So in terms of materials, for this stitch pattern I did a little experimentation, and I found that I was able to get the best result by going down to a smaller hook. So this makes the stitches just that little bit tighter and neater and minimises the gaps between them. For my dishcloth I used a worsted weight cotton yarn and a 4.5mm or letter G crochet hook, but of course if you want to make anything else using the stitch pattern, then you can use any yarn that you have and a suitable hook. Okay, so let's get started. So we will begin with a slip knot, and for this stitch pattern you can chain any multiple of 10 plus 2. So I am going to begin with a chain 22. Okay, so there is my starting chain. Now when I'm working into my chain, I actually like to flip it over and work into these back bumps here. So just those little bumps at the back of the chain. And I feel like doing this just gives a much neater edge. So I'm going to skip the first chain from the hook and start working into the back bump of the second chain. So that is this bump here. So my first stitch is going to be a single crochet. So I'll just insert my hook into that back bump and do a single crochet, and now I'll do a single crochet in the next stitch. Now my next 2 stitches are going to be half double crochets, so half double in the next chain and a half in the next, and now I am going to do 3 double crochets, so 1 in each of the next 3 chains. Okay, so we have just increased the height of our stitches there. Now we're going to start bringing the height down, so we're going to do a half double in each of the next 2 chains. And then 3 single crochets. Okay, so let's just have a look here. We can see that we have our first wave. So let's do one more. So we'll start increasing the height again. We'll do 2 half double crochets, followed by 3 double crochets. And now we'll do 2 more half doubles and then finish off with 2 singles. Okay, so that is row 1 done, and that's the trickiest row. So once you have this done, the rest of it is going to be much easier. So let's go ahead now with row 2, and we're going to chain 1 and turn, and that chain does not count as a stitch. And then row 2 is going to be super simple. We're just going to single crochet all the way along. Now I am just here at my last single crochet, but I am not going to complete the stitch because I need to change to my second colour. So to do that, I'm just going to grab my colour 2 here and yarn over and complete the single crochet with that. That is our colour change made, and you can just leave the first colour here because we're going to be using that again later. So let's get on to row 3 now. So we'll turn our work and let's just have a look at what we have. So on row 1 we started the wave with the smallest stitch, and that means that for row 3 we're going to need to start this wave with the tallest stitch, which is going to be a double crochet. So you have a few options for starting the next row. You can start with a chain 3 like you normally would for a double crochet row, and this chain 3 counts as 1 stitch. Or you can do what is called a stacked double crochet, and I actually really like starting my rows this way because it does not give you the same gap that you get with the turning chain 3. Okay, so to do the stacked double crochet, we are not going to chain 1, we're just going to insert our hook into that first stitch and make a single crochet. Now I'm going to insert my hook through the left bar of that single crochet that we just made and make another single crochet, and that gives us a stitch that is the same height as a double crochet. So you sometimes might see this called a stacked single crochet because it is in fact 2 single crochets on top of each other, but I like to call it a stacked double crochet because it is giving us a stitch that's the height of a double crochet. All right, so let's keep going. So our next stitch is another double crochet. Now we're going to do 2 half double crochets, 3 singles, and if you have a look here you can see that our 3 singles are sitting above the 3 doubles from the first row. So we'll just keep working our wave all the way along. So 2 half doubles here, then 3 doubles, 2 halves again, and then 3 singles. And now to finish off the row, we're just going to do our 2 half double crochets and then finish with 2 doubles. Okay. So if you are making this stitch pattern in something much wider, you just need to keep repeating the same pattern all the way along until you come to the end. Now let's just work the next row. So it's going to be a row of single crochets. We'll chain 1 and turn, that does not count as a stitch, and then just single crochet all the way along. And now I am just at the end of the row, and you can see here that this last stitch was our stacked double crochet. So this is actually even much easier than working into the top of a chain 3. So that's another reason why I love this stitch so much. So we're going to start working our last single crochet of the row, but don't complete the stitch. We will keep our working yarn to the back and the right of our work, yarn over colour 1 here from row 2, just floating it up the side of our work here. And now we're ready to get straight into row 5. So to do that, we're just going to chain 1 and turn, and we're going to work exactly the same stitches as we did for row 1. So we're going to begin with our 2 single crochets and then work our 2 half double crochets and so on all the way along. So there we have it. That is everything you need to know to be able to work this stitch pattern. So we just need to keep repeating rows 2 to 5 for as long as we need to, and then at the end just work one more row of single crochet, and you can continue to just float your colours up the side of your work here as you go. So here is my finished washcloth, and as you can see I have also worked a simple single crochet border all around the edge just to finish it off nicely. I really hope you have enjoyed learning this new stitch pattern with me, and if you do have a second to subscribe, that would be absolutely amazing. I have lots more tutorials and patterns on my channel and website netandmimi.com, so do check those out. Happy crocheting and take care.